Have you ever wondered if some things in life can truly be changed, or if, no matter how hard we try, certain natures remain unshakable? We live in a world that constantly urges us to believe in transformation, in second chances, in redemption. But what if some truths are deeper, older, and more untamed than our good intentions could ever reach? Robert lived in a quiet coastal town, the kind of place where the ocean whispered secrets into the night. He was a software engineer working remotely, his life wrapped in the silence of code and crashing waves. Though talented, he was lonely. His days stretched endlessly between the soft glow of a laptop screen and the smell of the sea drifting into his home. One morning, after selling fresh fish he had bought from the local market, Robert noticed a man sitting by the roadside. Beside him was something extraordinary, a tiger cub. The man's face was worn with hunger, his clothes thin and ragged. He explained that he had no money, no food for his family, and that the cub had been given to him by a traveler passing through. He could not keep it. Out of desperation, he offered to trade the cub for the fish Robert carried. Robert looked into the cub's eyes. There was innocence there, a glimmer of companionship he had craved for so long. Against all logic, against the quiet warnings echoing in his heart, he agreed. He took the cub home. The neighbors shook their heads when they saw it. They warned him, "You can't tame the wild. One day it will turn on you." But Robert refused to listen. He believed in patience, in kindness, in the power of human love. He built a strong enclosure in his backyard, fed the cub fresh fish every day, and whispered to it as though it were a friend. Time passed. The cub grew into a magnificent tiger, its muscles rippling beneath golden fur, its eyes glowing with primal fire. Robert felt proud, so proud. He told himself he had achieved what others said was impossible. He had turned wildness into loyalty. But life has ways of testing our illusions. One week, Robert had to travel to a nearby town to attend a client meeting. On his way back, a massive landslide blocked the coastal road. Days passed before it was cleared. 5 days of waiting. 5 days while the tiger sat in its enclosure without food, without the voice it had grown accustomed to. When Robert finally returned, he rushed to the backyard, heart aching with guilt. The tiger was alive, but weak. It sat in the corner of its cage, ribs visible, eyes hollow. Robert, overwhelmed with sorrow, opened the cage and stepped inside. He reached out his hand with love in his eyes. But hunger is older than friendship, stronger than affection. In that one fragile moment, the tiger's instincts roared back to life. With a suddenness that shattered the silence, it leapt. The wild had claimed what it always owned. The tragedy was undeniable. Robert's dream of taming the untamable crumbled in a heartbeat. And yet, the story does not end in despair, because from his mistake there emerges a truth we must remember. Some things in life cannot be changed. Just as a tiger's nature cannot be rewritten, some people carry within them traits that cannot be erased: anger, betrayal, dishonesty. They may hide it for a while, disguise it with smiles and kind words, but under pressure, under hunger, their true nature will resurface. This is not a call to abandon compassion. No, compassion is one of the most beautiful gifts we can offer. But compassion must be guided by wisdom. It must be tempered by the recognition of reality. To ignore truth, to believe that love alone can conquer what is primal, is to risk being devoured by illusions. So remember this: not everything can be changed, not everyone can be tamed. And sometimes the greatest act of strength is not to step closer, but to keep a safe distance. Because love without wisdom is not kindness, it is danger, dressed in gentle clothing. Now I leave you with this question: what are the tigers in your life? The habits, the relationships, the illusions that you may be trying to tame, even though deep down you know their nature will never change. And if this story touched you, take a moment to reflect. Share in the comments below. Have you ever had to step back from something or someone when you realized their true nature could not be changed? Your story might help someone else find the courage to do the same. If you found value here, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who might need this reminder today.